Welcome to That Life podcast with
Leah
and Shaun. Thank you for tuning in for our final show. Even though it's bittersweet to say those words, but it is our final show. Please show us love as you come in so we can recognize you and say we love y'all back. Thank you for all of your support.
Y'all, I'm going to try to keep it together. I'm going to try for all intents and purposes today. As Shaun eloquently said, this is our last and final show of That's Life. It has been 4 years since we've done this show. We aired our first show, as you saw by the montage, in March 20th of 2020. That was right at the height of, as they say, coronavirus, COVID. COVID changed the way that we communicated with people, the way that we dealt with people, the way that we loved on people. And it had a vast imprint on our lives. If you looked at some of the episodes that we showed you guys, a lot of the episodes that we talked about were nearest and dearest to us because it impacted us during COVID. If we're honest about it, we kind of didn't even know what we were going to do with the show.
We really did. We were still trying to figure it out as we went there.
Yeah, we literally did not know what we were going to do with the show. But 4 years later, it's been a joy. It's been the best thing that has ever happened to me in terms of what I'm doing with my life and what I did with my life.
Right.
Before I go into the whole
Kit and caboodle,
shang, the bang, and all of the things, I do want to shout out to all of those that are in the building. Courageous, thank you so much for tuning in to our final episode. Tasha, all the way from West Palm Beach, WPB. Thank you so much for tuning in to our final show. And my baby sister all the way in NJ. Thank you so much for tuning in to our final show this evening. Yes, it comes with a heavy heart. I'm not going to lie, you guys. We're going to talk about why we came up with this decision, why we are at this place where we're going to end the show. It came with a lot of back and forth. We were really indecisive about what we were going to do, but we're going to talk about why we even got to this point of why we made the decision. Hey, baby AJ.
Hey, Dad, have you?
We miss you, baby AJ. But it was a hard decision, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We went back and forth. We fought about what we were going to do as it relates to the show. But we're gonna talk about why we got to this point and why we are here. Melina, thank you so much for tuning in to our show this evening. We promise we're not going to be long-winded. We're going to try not to be anyway. Yeah, this is going to be about a 35 minute show. We are still going to show love to our small businesses. We're still going to support others because that's what we are about. We're about, of course, educating, encouraging, and empowering you, but we're also here to support all small business owners. We've always been about that. So we're going to show love to our small business owners that we have commercials for this evening. I would be remiss if I didn't send some shout outs, but we're going to do that, I guess, when we come back from break.
Yes, we're going to do that when we come back.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you guys so much for the love. Hey, Car. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come right back, we're going to kick off into the show. Again, it's only going to be about 30 minutes because your girl can't hang for an hour. I'm not going to lie. I might cry.
And I don't have any napkins, no tissue. I ain't got nothing for
we have nothing.
We got a shirt.
We can't.
That's right. No.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in tonight on our show. Hey,
much love, y'all.
Much love to you guys. We're going to take a break. Commercial.
Hey guys, my name is Talisa McKnight, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and about my business and answer a couple of questions that I get on a daily basis. So I own Carnissa Lux Hair Braiding Services. I'm 18 years old. I am a home-based hairstylist, and I will also travel. I've known how to braid hair since I was 4 years old. I started accepting clients a little bit over 3 years ago, and I started Carnissa Lux a year ago. Some of the services I offer are knotless braids, tribal braids, cornrows, island twists, invisible locks, quick weaves, braided ponytails. However, I do offer invisible locks. I don't do any type of natural locks or soft locks. Another thing you should know about my business is I am text and DM to book only. With that being said, please follow me on Instagram at Carnissa Lux. Thank you guys. Bye.
Introducing Melly B. Melina is the proud owner of Melly B Co. In 2019, she studied and developed formulas for artisanal handcrafted cold processed soap to give people an alternative to commercial detergents filled with synthetic perfumes and petrochemicals associated with skin disorders. As someone with sensitive skin and allergies herself, she was passionate about formulating soaps with the right pH balance. Established in 2021, Melly B Co. made it her number one mission to provide skin-loving organic ingredients in all her products and to provide better alternatives for bath, body, and home fragrance. Additionally, she was featured in the South Carolina Voyager magazine in 2022. Melly B Co.'s soaps are nourishing and hydrate the skin while rinsing off easily. Melly B runs on a 3-tier selection: mild and unscented, made with teas and infusions for the most sensitive skins; natural pigments, made with French clays and natural powders, scented with aromatherapy organic essential oils; and mineral-derived microcoloring with high-quality fragrance oils that are phthalate-free. Soaps are made in small batches, cut, cured for 4 to 6 weeks, and are carefully wrapped and labeled by hand before being shipped all over the country. Melly B is licensed and insured and operates out of the state of South Carolina. For additional information and to order products, check out their website at mellybco.com. Don't forget to follow them on TikTok and Instagram at mellybco.
First Ladies Automotive Repair is a mobile repair service in the Atlanta area. Our mission is to provide efficient service with a personal touch. Let's take the stress away and get you back in gear. To book your appointment, email us at firstladiesautomotiverepair@gmail.com. To check out our services, go to our Facebook at First Ladies Automotive Repair. Welcome back to That's Life Podcast with
Leah
and Shaun. And I gotta tell you, that sounds so bittersweet. I'm saying that last little hook that I did.
Yeah. It's pretty deep. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thank you to all of those that are tuning in tonight for our final episode. Mr. Hoodie, thank you so much for tuning in. It's like she said, it's bittersweet to be able to say That's Life Podcast with Leah and Shaun one last time.
All right, I had the whole health tip and everything too.
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. As we talked about before, we've been on air for 4 years and a couple of months.
And how many episodes did we do?
We did. Today is our 97th episode, and I know that seems very crazy for a lot of people.
That's crazy.
But yeah, we've done 97 episodes. Of course, some of them being me just only in the front of the camera.
It started out with just her.
It started off with just me. It was initially That's Life with Leah and Shaun, or with Leah Leach, or That's Life with Leah Leach. And we, within the last 2 years, converted our show to be the two of us. And it seemed like a very easy, simple thing to do. She was already behind the scenes. She was already doing a lot of the behind the scenes things. So.
And let me tell you, I was perfectly fine with being behind the scenes. Doing the music, making sure she's still cute, making sure everything was going right. This beautiful, wonderful woman here wanted to pull me right around and sit me right here.
And it's been a blessing to be able to have my partner in crime next to me to be able to do the show, because she was already part of the catalyst to why the show even happened in the first place. So shout out to her.
That this show wouldn't be without her. I mean, let's face it. This whole show would not have been a single thing if it wasn't for this woman right here to my right.
Well, thank you, sweetheart, for saying that, because that really means a lot to me.
I'm just being honest.
Before we go into the thick of why now we're ending the show, we do have a couple shout outs that we want to send out to a couple people before we start. So I'm going to start by saying shout out to every single guest that has ever been on our show. It is way too many to list. We have had so many good guests on our show, including some of the people that are actually right now watching our show.
Yes.
So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, because without you, we would have no meat. We would have no substance in the show.
Nothing.
So thank you to all of you. Also, I want to shout out all of our small business owners, as I did that on our IG channel. Shout out to Carnissa Lux, to Melly B. Co. Shout out to Jamel Sanderson from Keller Williams. Iris Logan from All About My Daddy's Business.
Oh.
Shout out to Jimmy Brooks from Zion Starfighters.
Y'all better get his book now. Still out there.
Yeah. Shout out to every single person that has been a part of this process in terms of being a small business owner. I cannot begin to tell you how much that meant to us to have you as a part of our show. You gave our show crux and meat into the show.
You made it so
I actually just thought about two other people. Shout out to Full Focus Media Solutions, Brian Horton, and also to Empowering Imprints, which is Natasha Nedrick. Thank you guys so much for every single ad, every single thing that you've ever done as it relates to our show in general. Shaun, you got a couple shout outs too, I think.
Yeah, I got a couple. First off, I want to give the biggest shout out to one person, the one and only person who has made the beats to this show. Matter of fact, let's take a pause and listen to the beat that's dropping right now. Take that beat up for the people to hear.
I gotta turn it up first.
Turn it up a little bit. Just listen to it. That's our son Yuri. He made that beat, every single beat since day one. He's been laying them hard, just like this.
Yeah, shout out to Yuri for making great music. He was, like I said, one of the biggest catalysts as it relates to That's Life, and coming up with the music for That's Life. So thank you so much, as he has a shocked face. Thank you so much for what you gave to the show, because you gave a big part of the show as it relates to that.
If it wasn't for your beats, man, it would just be such a double show. It would just be quiet, like. Absolutely. You make people want to just dance with it. Feel it. Okay. But anyway, so my next shout out, I want to give the biggest, hottest shout out to our number one fan, our number one person who supported us since day one. And yes, all of y'all, there's been a lot of y'all supporting, but there's been one that has been sharing and just getting it out there. I want to give a shout out to Tasha.
Yeah.
Tasha, you've been the biggest supporter that we've had. You always spread the word around to everybody, shared us on your page and everything. And you've won when we made that contest, who would bring in the most people in to subscribe to our show. And I have to say, that was you, Tasha. You won that one. And you've continued to share us ever since. And I'm highly grateful and highly appreciative to you.
Absolutely. Shout out to Tasha. She is one of the biggest goats of our show. I'm in gratitude to her, and just like I said, her know-how and even just her kind words and appreciation to us. I'm really grateful for her as it relates to the show for sure. I also have another shout out.
Who you got?
Shout out to our baby girl, Carmen. Carmen is the one when Shaun decided to come to the front of the screen, who started doing all of our lights. She does my beat. So this makeup does not come from me. It comes from her, from my 15-year-old daughter. So shout out to her to making sure that the set looks the way that it's supposed to look.
As you notice, we no longer look faded. I was looking faded. That wasn't it.
That wasn't us.
Carmen came down, it's like, got you. Cut this up and now you look.
And she makes us look great every single day. And so those are the big shout outs that we have. I also have another shout out to every single viewer, every single person that has liked, subscribed, followed, shared, done anything as it relates to That's Life. If it were not for you, this show would not exist. So thank you so much for every person that comes on here and shows us love every single time we have a show that we air.
Absolutely.
Now that we've gotten all the love out,
much love.
Hey, Cliff, thank you so much. Oh, and Sarah. Hey. So before we end the show, one of the things that we wanted to talk about is why we chose to stop the show. It comes with a heavy heart. Let's just be honest about it. Like I said, we've done this show now for 4 years, but if we're honest, life is just life. Hence the fact that we call the show That's Life, because life tends to happen. And we have a lot of real-time things happening in our inner circle. I'll give you a couple of things that are happening with me individually, and then Shaun's going to talk about some things that's happening with her individually and what's happening in our home in general. So I'm in the process of writing my second book, as you all know, Yet Still I Rise. It has been a journey to talk about the re-diagnosis of my cancer and to talk about how that journey itself has changed my entire life. But if I'm honest, it has come with a lot of sadness. It's come with a lot of feeling weighted to make sure that this book is as good or even better than the first book that I wrote. And it requires a lot of my time, attention, blood, sweat, and tears. And so to do that, to do That's Life synchronously, it's difficult to do the two at the same time. So I'm taking a full step back so that I can really focus on my book and be intentional, because I would love for my book to be published by June of next year, as long as I don't have any more writer's block and everything is still the way it's supposed to happen. The other reason why I've decided that I feel like it's time for us to step back is because, well, our oldest is going to college. And to prepare him for college requires a lot of time, attention, money. Did I mention money? Money. So I have to be able to give him the full focus that I can give him. And at the same time, prepare my youngest one, who is 2 years away from that too. And although people say, oh, it's 2 years, 2 years happens quick. I need you guys to realize that literally in less than a month, we'll be in October. And then we only have 2 months and the year is over. So I'm being very intentional about giving my children the extra little time that I can give them to be the best versions of themselves. Shaun is going to talk about the business side of it, because we also have businesses too that we're doing at the same time. So Shaun, talk a little bit about why we're taking a step back as it relates to it.
Well, as y'all all know from y'all seeing the Minute with the Mechanic, which is moi, I have to tell you that with First Ladies Automotive, it's really starting to kick off and getting more and more clients. So it started to become a conflict in time, trying to get people in and also still do the podcast at the same time. So it was like, do I push off the people who are in dire needs and then they end up going to somebody else? Or do we just, bring our podcast to an end? So at this point, I had to put my customers first, because they're in dire need and they trusted me to work on their vehicles, not my nose becoming dirty. And some of y'all are some of my customers. I love y'all. Thank y'all for your support.
This guy just give me the money. No thanks.
No, we are already giving you enough money. Thank you.
No thanks.
But that is the reason why. So First Ladies is really starting to get a kickoff. So that's why we have to put our focus into this baby now, as it's beginning to bloom into a beautiful.
Absolutely. And which is the last part of why we're stopping.
Can I give a drum roll?
You can.
I can do a drum roll.
The drum roll is God has been working a thing in me in terms of my future and plans that I have. As you all know, I used to work in the educational system. I was around a lot of children. I've adopted a lot of children along the way.
Yes.
And one of the things that was very important to me was to be an advocate for them, to be a voice for those that needed a voice. And so I recently, as of a couple months ago, started a business called Joy Speaks. Joy Speaks is specifically motivational nuggets that I give to my viewers and to children that need it. But I feel like, if I'm honest about it, God has been pushing me. Well, he hasn't been pushing me. He just kicked her out the door. Kicked me to now start the process of becoming a life coach. And so in the next year and a half, I will be looking to do my certification in life coaching. And I will be, in 2 years, I'm pushing myself in 2 to 3 years to start a business called Joy Speaks Life Coaching and Life Skills. I'm all about teaching our young people that some people may not feel that they're college ready. And so the idea is to be able to give them a trade, a skill that they can learn and that they can be lucrative in. And so that is where God is propelling me and pushing me, and I want to be obedient to what he's telling me to do. Thanks, Tavia. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Thank you, Tasha, of course. So Joy Speaks is very important to me. And because we're getting ready to approach Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I've been using my voice to advocate now in this particular season of women being more conscious of their body and taking care of their body. Absolutely. And so I have been doing motivational speaking engagements. I've been kind of a little bit of everywhere, pulled in multiple different directions, but God has been good. And I'm so grateful and thankful to be able to have the platform to be able to talk about my experience with cancer and just all things as it relates to that. I also want to mention this too, that the name was very intentional. I had a friend who died many, many years ago. Her name was Joy Chanel. And if it were not for Joy, I would not have been the person to use my voice to even talk about my cancer. So shout out to Joy Chanel for believing in me and seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself. Thanks, King. Absolutely. We got a lot in this season. Thank you so, so much, my friend. I love you, and I thank you for just even being a part of our show, like we said before, and supporting small businesses. So that's pretty much why we decided to end That's Life. And that's our future plans, is to really build our businesses and build our brand and to become better. Maybe That's Life could come back in the future. Who knows? It might come back a little different. It might come back a little bit different. But you know, what we believe is that God will never give us more than we can handle. So before we end our show, we're gonna do a couple little things. We want to go back down memory lane and look at some videos, and we're gonna also do our ending video as well too. Before we do all those things, I'm going to say this without crying. That's why I'm trying to be a little goofy for her, so she doesn't come up with the water bottle. I have no tissue, no napkin. You have nothing up here. Oh, I got a shirt. That's it. Nothing up here. Thank you to all of those that have loved on us, supported us, poured into us. Yes. Even the coach needs a little bit of coaching from time to time. So thank you so much for believing in the two of us and the dream in our baby and being present in mind to support two Black girls just trying to do good things. We hope that you got a little bit something out of our show. If nothing else, even if it was just to learn something about a minute with somebody, or if it was to look into a small business or to find a way to start your own podcast, we hope that you were able to get something out of the show. That was some type of knowledge, something, or even just an encouragement for something that you didn't think that you were capable of doing. Absolutely. We're going to do a little bit of we're going to do a minute with people. So we're going to do a minute with the mechanic. We're going to do a minute with the Flavor King. We're going to also do a minute with the mini chef. And these are the old school videos. So why not? Enjoy, y'all. Let's go.
Oh, hi. Y'all back again for a minute with the mechanic. Well, today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to make sure your air filter is still good. So right here is where your air filter is. Well, on my car. Different cars has different spots, but it's the big container and you can find it. With mine, just pull off the cap, pull the air filter out. There it is. If it's black, you need to change it. If it's still white, you're good. Slap it back in there, slide it in, put the cap back on, you're done. Easy and simple. Don't have to waste extra money dealing with mechanics, telling you need this, paying out of pocket for too much. Also, while we're on the topic, whenever you guys get an oil change, you get it done every 3,000 miles. With that, oil change comes with tire rotation and checking that air filter. Every 3,000 miles, you want to get it done. Saves you money in the long run. All right? That's it. Minute with a mechanic. I'm out.
Hi, I'm Carmen, and this is Minute with Mini Chef. Today we're going to make homemade honey mustard. You can make this vegan by using vegan mayo and maple or agave syrup. For regular homemade honey mustard, mix mayo, yellow mustard. Dijon, mix to combine. Then add your honey. And there you have it. Homemade honey mustard. I hope you enjoy. Bye!
Hi, I'm Yuri, and welcome to Minute with the Flavor King. Cooking is one of my favorite things to do. I love spices, but many people don't know the difference between seasoning and flavor. So here's the difference. To season is to bring out the natural flavor of the food without changing it. Seasonings are added near the end of cooking. Seasonings include salt, pepper, and acid. Flavoring changes the original flavor of the food. It can be used to create a unique flavor. Flavorings include chili powder, lemon pepper, garlic powder, and chives. So whether you season or flavor, have fun with cooking.
Welcome back to Last Night Podcast with
Leah
and Shaun.
Y'all, those videos make me so happy. If you can believe it, Yuri was an 8th grader when we did that video, and Carmen was a 6th grader. And now we have a senior in high school and a sophomore.
Ooh, don't take her back now.
Yeah.
She's gonna be mad. You took her back to freshman.
It really goes by super fast. Thank you so much to all those that showed love. We're going to do our ending video, but before we do that, we always, of course, close our show with a Bible verse, and of course, we close it with a quote. That seems so long ago, right, Tasha?
Right.
Incredible. And Corbin says we look so different. Yeah, you kind of grew up like really fast,
right?
But before we go, thank you to everybody that tuned in on our last show. Again, we hope you learned something along the way. We're still going to have our YouTube channel up. You'll be able to still go back and look at views and all the things as it relates to our show.
Yep.
Walk down memory lane. Look at the first episode that we ever did about coronavirus and autism, and watch the last show that we talked about AI. That was the last show that we ever did.
Speaking of corona, I remember we used to do updates. Right before we started, we used to give the updates and how many people had corona and where it was going and all that, and how things get shut down. Do you remember we also talked about the presidency? When President Obama became the first Black president?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Jeez.
Yeah. Y'all gotta go back. Y'all gotta go back and see all those videos that we've ever done. They will be up for you to see at your pleasure whenever you want to.
Yes.
We are going to end with our quote and Bible verse of the evening, and then we are going to play our final video and bow out to you guys. We love you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Make sure that you're supporting small businesses. I'm still about supporting small business owners. Support small businesses. Support people that are doing good things, wholesome things in our climate that we've got going in the culture right now. So,
absolutely.
Shaun,
I'm going to take the quote away. So, there's a certain sort of magic in life that is only manifested through change.
Absolutely. And it's time for the change.
Yes, it is.
As much as we don't want to, we got to take the change.
You got to.
Our Bible verse of the night is from Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. As we bow out, we're going to do our final video of the night. We love you guys.
Love you.
think you're on mute.
Let's start all over. Let's start. We're going to get it together.
And I'm your minute with the mechanic.
Hi, I'm Yuri, and welcome to...
Hey, it's not just you.
Oh, my bad.
I'm Carmen.
And I'm Yuri.
And welcome to
2 Minutes with the Flavor Key
and the Mini Chef.
Hey there, y'all. And sit with the Savings Queen.
It's a lot of activity in our house. We had a whole live audience. Shout out to our live audience who is living right now.
Living and living.